Oh my god, Warframe? Oh my god! Oh my god! It is Warframe. This is very much the truth. I gotta change these things all the time. I also gotta see here. Control audio via OBS. There we go. Now we got the Tanja overlay as well. Quiet, am I right or am I right? Infinite for life! Rah! Alright, so we got the game, we got blurbs, we got mic aux, we got Spotify capture and Tanja. Let me just fix some stuff with the audio shiz. There we go. Motherfuckers! Alright, let's go. We're jumping in. Is it even? Yeah, hit there we go. Thank you. Market. Woo! I am the Tenno. I don't even know what to do now. Right. Missions. We're just gonna do missions. We're gonna run around and do shit. We're just gonna jump into it. Why don't we? Navigation. Whoa. Feels like the game is super loud, but that might be only for me because I see here in my OBS it shows that you are hearing it at the perfect level compared to my voice at least. Board Hex Galleon. Why the heck not? See, I'm a very funny guy. Very funny guy. I hope everyone understands this. Thanks for the lark, Panda, by the way. Put your bullet in my head. Oh.
Something's wrong. My scans are being blocked.
I'm here this time instead, so I'm happy it's 2 streams today. Very good, very good.
What does that mean?
Swish, swish, swish.
This galleon is huge. Think.
Think. We'll think about your butt.
Each fragment responds to a unique harmonic. I
Right.
discovered that during my initial work on Cetus's transceiver system. It's too bad we can't walk a wideband harmonic through the ship.
We're gonna do lefties.
I'll prefer
Oh, someone
broad frequency sweep.
over here. Ha ha ha! You died! Jesus. You are not lurking. Alright, just check. Oh shit, I gotta lower the volume on my end though.
Sire, that worked. Onko wasn't the only one with a sharp mind. We are elevated by your work and his. Your
Control
marriage was
console?
a
Oh, come on.
boon to Cetus.
It wasn't always easy.
Whoa!
Cetus came first. Always. Things were missed.
Ah!
And
Ah!
others, but it was a duty and a privilege.
Snack? What is this? I don't even know.
Tenno! Oh, is it my pathentable? Such a gift.
Such a gift!
I have a surprise for you.
You got a surprise for me?
Metal maggot.
I got a surprise for you. I'm gonna murder some bitches in your house. Whee! Fucking love this character. What the fuck? Oh yeah, you are so fucking welcome to join, bestie. Do you want to stream as well? We could do a stream together. I just gotta lower the volume of the game here. Master volume down to 40. Alright, now save. Y'all barely hear the game now, right? No, it's still like good. No, it's you missed what I said? I said if you want to stream the game, we can do that together as well. Like we can stream together. And then we could talk to each other in the stream together thing. Ha! Special agent, solve Tilden ciphers. Oh my gosh, good guy, you can. There's some, what's it called? Tutorials you gotta do first. You'll just get stuck? Alright, alright. Get in it! I'm gonna finish this mission, and I got laundry going, so that's kind of why I picked this as well, so, because I can go do laundry between missions. Yeah! That's right, bitch! I have a VC for Warframe in my server. Nice. We're definitely gonna go in there then. Kurva! There we go. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just running around. He just stood there. Right now I'm just like running around exploring. I'm not even looking at the thing I'm supposed to look at. The quest marker. Just running around. What's here? Hello? Oh! You are an arson eximus? You are an ex-eximus? Suck it, bitch. What is this? Pick up Ayatan Amber Star? Cool. I don't even know what that is. Oh! The one you love. I refuse to explain this song to our international viewers. It's a banger though. It's also fairly problematic. There once watched Scandal. This is what they sing. This is in the song. This is about the. What the fuck? Where was I out here? Where am I even? Snake! CrossFit, more like cross fuck off. Yeah. Just a bit problematic. Just a teeny tiny bit.
Riley, I made your mom so wet, Trudeau deployed a 24-hour infantry unit to stack sandbags around my bed.
Made your mom so wet, I needed a 24-hour infantry unit to stack sandbags around my bed. Fucking... Like, how do they come up with these chirps? It's just insane. You died. 10 minutes to download. Nice! Yeah, I mean, there's literally no rush today. Wife will not be home for a little while. She has a swimming lesson after work with one of her coworkers. Like, she has a new coworker, a young woman who, before she got this job, actually was a swim instructor, and my wife was like, yeah, I have a hard time swimming, and she was like, oh, we could just go to a lake, you and I, and just, I'll teach you how to swim. So my wife is gonna learn how to swim better today, and I'm gonna sit here and sweat, and that's another type of swimming. I love the abilities on this one. I feel like I'm never gonna switch from this one, but I probably will. Oh, fuck off, Bort. Seriously. Why would you do this to me? Do it, bitch! Jesus. Do it, bitch! Oh my gosh. You don't have to tell me twice. 11, 12. Ouchies. You get 12 push-ups, Borthold. Oh my gosh. You'll see you will switch. I think the bot might be dead. Wait, so I had 1929 push-ups. He's alive. And then let's run that command again. Set push-ups 1629. You misspelled it. Set up. Set you push-ups. And blah blah blah. Where are we? Push-up debt. Wait, and now I did 12, so it should be 16, 17? Right? Wait, no. Thank you. Alright, we gotta Google, we gotta see what happened in 1617. The end of the Ingrian War between Sweden and Russia, with the Treaty of Stolbovo. Cool. At least 7 women are sentenced to death by burning for witchcraft at the Finspång witch trial in Sweden as well. Interesting. The more you know. Oh shit, I'm dying? Excuse you. Oh, I didn't even pause before I just tabbed out. Wait, y'all couldn't kill me that whole time? Alright, these guys suck balls, people. And not in the fun kind of way, in the way that, like, oh, they're not good at their job. Let's see. You look like someone I murder. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying Warframe. I want this to be my new obsession. So I'm gonna try to artificially incept my brain into wanting to get obsessed with this. Get fucked, Riley! Never is some of the games I show you though. I don't know why. I think it might be something about like, oh, someone else wants me to play this game, then I won't play it. Like just that immediate response in my brain of like, if someone else wants me to do a thing, I refuse to do it, or it immediately loses its interest for me. But that also feels like it's not true, because I definitely want to play like Squirreled Away. I really want to get into again. That was super fun. I want to get back to that. Hello? You're dead. Whee! I'm a quick fucker. Let's see. Let's go. Boom, boom. Crash. Mr. Cool! Crash. Mr. Cool! Lancer? Hardly newer! Slash, 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 slash! Slash. What's happening? Smack, smack, smack. I am fighting. Nope. Mercy? Wait, what does mercy mean? Sorry, I killed them too quickly to give them any type of mercy. I don't even know what that means. I want to try it out though. Not for you though. Ah! No alarms, please. I don't appreciate alarms. They're so loud. Ta adrinntrykkeps. Ta adrinntrykkeps. Ta adrinntrykkeps. Som vi ska cool. Crash. Mr. Cool. Alright, here we go. Stop!
Surprise, surprise! A gleaming maggot squirmed into my ship. Well, let's see you slip out of this one. What?
Slip out of what? I'm murdering everything you have.
Pathetic meat piles! Can't you stop one puny maggot from squirming away? Ah!
Hello. I thought there was people up here. I wanted to join. Just want to see how you are doing today. We've been trying to reach you with the Tenno's extended warranty. There we go. We've reset the alarms now. You shouldn't be bothered by me. I mean, you're still gonna die. Ouchies. Oh, come on. Kill him too quickly. Smack. Smack. What's in here? Oh look, dead people. Cool. Every 10 seconds the sentinel something. The thing was called vaporize at least, and that sounds cool. I'm just gonna run around. Smack, smack. Hey, poopers! What up, enemy? What's up, what's up, what's up? How are you doing, friend? Are you okay? Smack. Smack-a-doodle. Smack-a-noodle. Smack-a-doodle. Slash, slash. Slash. You died. You died. You died. Oh no, wait. Alright. Oh, come on. Really? You exploded yourself? What to deal with this mental health? I'm doing poggers, working on some channel point redemption. Oh man, that's super poggers, bro. Dead. Oh my gosh, people are writing to me on Snapchat. It's insane. I'm just so popular. Oh, this is the extraction point. Okay, cool. Oh, come on. Why would you do that to me? What are the channel point redemptions you're working on? Give us some examples. Come on. Give us a taste. Power fist. Get fisted. Tell us, enemy. Give us a taste of your genius. What has your brain come up with? In regards to the channel redemptions. I ain't spoiling the rest. We only saw an example yesterday. Alright. Fine. But it's all like ITIS connected then. Oh, sorry. Oh shit, sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh, whoops. I'm the worst hairdresser ever. I thought that was the Danish flag again, just like from Repo. I get so mad. It's like, how are the Danish in space? They barely have a functioning government. Most of it, yes. This is very good. You're going to reset the alarm. I feel good. It's the panda and you now. Slash. What a panda! Disable security. If I disabled the security measures, that would mean I'd kneecap enemy. For the stream, that is. But I wouldn't do that, because I need the security measures and enemy needs his kneecaps. You what now? Hehe! Just a fun little joke. Disclaimer, DrVem Limited TV is not responsible for or condone any type of violence. There we go! What am I gonna do now? I'm gonna run? I will, but I'm in a mission right now. They can't join me mid-mission. How the fuck do I get in there? Oh, I can't join them mid-mission either. Whoa! No! False. No, no, we do not. Oh my god, we do not. And also, I'm very, very happy that the desktop audio does not get caught anymore. Yeah, I know you can't hear that, TTS. Look, you got channel points. Oh shit, wait. No, wait, it was Q?
Tenno, we've
Scam.
recovered all of the shards Vehek discovered. Get to extraction.
Night in Cetus complete. Night in Cetus completus! Let's Yeetus the fetus!
Disclaimer,
Start elevator.
DrVem Limited TV condones violence and the breakage of enemies' kneecaps.
Ah, no! I was the fetus. Alright, there we go. Disclaimer, Dr. Okay. He's not showing up on my thing, though. I'm not hearing Sir David. Is the rest of chat hearing him? I didn't even hear him. Yeah, but I didn't hear him at all.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh, you suck if you laugh.
Map 2, DrVem 0. We will now see the next fight and what will happen between the map and Doctor. At this point, he is
Yeah, I can't
sourly
hear the
lucid.
Tanta. Sourly losing? The fuck you mean sourly losing? I've explored the map. I've already defeated the map. I'm just gonna finish the mission is all. Like, I'm level 21 something and they're all level 4. Like, I'm severely over-leveled for this mission, but I just haven't done missions a lot. So we're sorely losing. I'm not sorely losing, or sourly losing. I literally am crushing it. Look at this. You've been awake too briefly to spell? Wow. Wow, friend. There we go.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Not gonna do that one. Snap, snap, snap.
Helvete.
Oh my god, no, fuck off with that shit.
Skrattretande, jag tror jag garvar.
Oh my gosh. Let's try out the Tanjo overlay again instead.
Okay, now to be fair.
To be fair.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it. Why am I not hearing it? Properties. Sorry, I gotta find this out. Because y'all are hearing it though, right? Monitor and output.
What?
Yeah, there we
What?
go. Nice. Alright.
What?
I
What?
fixed it. I fixed it, alright? Thank you for the help. Oh my gosh, Panda! Piggity Panda! Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the continued support and love. You are... See... Bish learned to write? What? What? What do you mean? What the fuck? What? What? Wait, what is happening? What is happening? Subscribed at tier 1 for 3 months in advance. Bro. No, it's not 20 off. If I do minus 20, it adds 20.
There's only one piece
God
left.
fucking damn it. Alright. Yeah. Thank you so much, Panda. You're a wonderful person.
That crater lake where we used to fish. That
The
place
crater
where
lake
Uncle's
where we
catch
used to
got
fish.
eaten on the line by a...
Oh my gosh.
Massive
My brain is
rock
not awake.
And we had to haul him out. We spent the whole day drying his notebooks. That was a good day. I think I know where we should look. Doha! While it is dark, the Grenier won't be there.
Oh my, you wanna accept me? Holy fucking Christ, people are just on me. I'm ah! Alright, I'm gonna... Oh, the debt must be paid as well? Come on. Alright, what's up, motherfuckers? Wait, so people can't...
Soft fur, glowing screen, Panda lurks in silent chat. Heart beats with the stream.
Heart beats with the stream. I gotta create a an audio source for the Discord as well. Let's
Easy
see.
does it. You
Okay.
sound so stressed right now. Easy does it, man.
I'm always stressed. There we go.
Okay, oh my god.
Let's see here. Discord. The Discord can
Discord?
definitely be part of the VOD, I feel. I gotta write a haiku and I gotta do some push-ups. I'm gonna do some push-ups while I think of the haiku.
Do it. Do it. You can do it.
Y'all are no live purchase.
Yeah, we know. We know. Hello, hello, everybody.
Hello.
I won't be here so long because I'm gonna go and meet Frankenstein in a little while.
He's gonna leave us.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like you guys, for real, so...
That's 12.
That's
12
fine.
push-ups. You fucking love us. You think we are adorable?
I will not answer that. I will not answer that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. 16:35. I gotta just check my timer as well. Yeah, I gotta go grab the washing in 5 minutes. Alright, who initiates the mission? Is it me? It should be me.
You.
I'm still in the tutorial, so. I'm
Hey, Pixie.
Hi, little pigs. You were
Pixie
early.
poop! She barely sleeps, that woman.
I noticed.
Yeah, I feel like that's a common thing among our community overall. People just don't sleep.
Nope. No, they don't.
Oh my gosh, is my affiliate anniversary stream gonna be a sleeping stream? We're just all gonna sleep with each other on stream?
Yes. It is. Do that.
You can see on the navigation map where you're going on the quest if you want to do that, or you just choose anything and we'll do it.
Yeah. We're just gonna finish.
You're doing your haiku. Sorry, do the haiku first.
Alright, Panda. Haiku is ready. Wakey brain. Parla Italiano? I hope the fuck not. There you go. That's a haiku.
You hope he doesn't speak Italian?
Yeah, cause fuck them Italians, yo.
I don't agree.
Locate the final fragment. We will locate a fragment.
Ah, it's a solo mission.
It is?
You will not... Yeah, you just left our party.
Oh,
so
for fuck's
that's a
sake.
solo mission.
I'll quit it immediately.
I love that you don't read what comes up.
No, of course not.
Oh, dear Lord.
Sorry, but reading is not my thing. Are you right?
I noticed.
Not like I
You're
spent
barely
8 years
right,
learning
though.
French and still don't want to associate with it. But that I understand. Who wants to associate with the French? Chatouille.
Well, I gotta... Yeah.
Invited you to a game. Yarr! Be my friend.
Go,
Failed to join
let's
session.
go. Because we both sent it and accepted. Send it again.
I will
you can
send it to you?
me again. Yes. Yes, do that. Do that.
Do we want to accept?
Yeah, send it again. It hasn't come up.
Could not deliver invitation to Lialvi.
Let's see if I can deliver one to you then.
¿Por qué no? Invited you to a game. Alright, this is really weird.
Yeah, you're just bad.
I am bad! Navigation! Alright.
Yeah, back to navigation we go.
Where does it say solo mission, though?
Well, you clicked it.
Alright.
But don't click it now.
No,
Choose
no.
another one. Choose like Everest or Eurasia or something. I don't know.
Eurasia.
Let's go.
Suggested damage. Do you ever actually adapt your weapons to the suggested damage and stuff?
No. Because I'm still ranking many weapons up. But right now, I have one... Everything I have right now is maxed except for my...
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know the name.
That is a dope-ass fucking Tenno.
This
This is Garuda. She's like a female Wolverine.
I want the female Wolverine!
Be prepared
Yes.
for heavy
I just got a
resistance.
fucking sword ski
I
here.
can't do this without you.
Yeah, you're Excalibur, right?
Yeah. Excalibur, I got sword. There you go, swoosh swoosh with the sword.
Did you see my cat?
Yeah, it's really cute. What happened to Oink?
I wanted a cat.
Not a warning shot.
Ooh, cool,
I
bros.
need access to a terminal. Find one and patch me in.
Oh wait, I should follow you because it's your mission. Right. I'm
No, but
I'm coming towards you.
I want to go where
I
you
have
were.
it. Okay. Because we have Uggos and Kubros here. And I think we might have a Kubro. Ooh, we can pick flowers.
What is
Let's
a
pick the
Kubro?
flowers. Kubro is what the Oink was.
Okay.
Oink was a Kubro.
We want to kill those.
The wild ones will attack you first. So
Yeah,
if you
that's
don't
okay.
kill it, it will kill you.
I'm okay with
Or
that.
at least try to kill you.
Kubro Den?
Oh, you found it! Attack it. Kill it.
I am.
Good.
Is it dead?
It's down. It's dead. It's dead.
I didn't see. I couldn't see if it was
We
down.
have another one here.
You kept spawn. Oh, that didn't keep spawning.
There you go.
And it exploded. That's.
Yeah. So it's done. Good job. Good job.
Thank you. I'm so good. Oh, timer.
Hi, Frankie.
Hey, Frankenstein. I gotta run out to the washing. Will you
Okay.
protect me?
Yes.
Thank
Please
you.
be quick.
No.
Please be quick.
Bye bye.
You know he'll take a long time for it.
Of course he will.
Yep.
Damn bastard. Frankenstein, if I'm late, this is why. It's because of Doc. What can I do? I can bow. I can meditate. I'm gonna sit here and meditate. At the spa? Are you going to a spa with him? Oh my god. Yes, yes. You will make it look suspicious. It's good. It's good. Oh, that's so nice. I didn't know. Damn. Yeah. Sounds amazing. I dropped the data mask. Good, then he can take it when he's back. If he remembers to. Let's see.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
It's a heavy unit
Keep moving.
approaching.
None of the scanners have detected you.
Okay, so this is lovely.
Location
Oh,
reached.
right. That
Drop me
is
in and
very
defend our
true.
position.
Memory is shit. I'm sorry, honey. But that sounds amazing. And something you need dearly, my darling. Good guy, I don't think I will have time to play with you. But since Frankenstein, she's coming to town in like 45 minutes to an hour.
Quite alright, I will strangle him at the spa? What?
Like
Wait,
perfect
what?
timing, he's back.
Why would you, wait, what? Why would you strangle me in a spa?
Welcome
Doc,
to all
bring
things
the data
Scottish.
mask.
Our
I left it
slogan
with
is,
you.
If it's
Yeah,
no
thank you.
Scottish, it's crap!
Good guy invited me to a game. Sorry, I'm
Good
busy
game.
playing with cooler people.
Good game invited you to game. Yes.
Good,
Good
yeah,
game.
I said good guy.
Good game.
No, you didn't.
Well,
I heard good game. Thank you for that one.
well, you are a
Can't
good
even
game.
remember my name.
Let's go. What do you?
Yeah.
Have two?
No, I think
25 minutes.
Alright.
Good
Look,
to know,
I think
baby.
You,
I'm just gonna.
I think you should invite me instead. I realize.
I can't mid thing.
Not mid mission.
I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
I'm in, Tenno. And I'm in love!
I'm not gonna do much. I'm gonna let you do most of the work.
Thank
because
you!
My guns are too good.
So good. Oh my gosh. Smack, smack, smack! That's a quadruple kill right there.
Still working on
Just
it.
seeing you
Continue to
murder
defend.
and slash through people there.
Yeah. I love her. She's like a vampire.
Oh,
She
so
gets
she
off the
like
blood and
heals
stuff.
when she damages people?
Yeah. And she
Nice.
gets a damage boost the more melee kills she does.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I love her. I don't even have a melee weapon on me right now because then she uses the claws on her
Area completed.
frame instead,
Move on.
which I love.
Like, it says
Which
that
pillow?
there's an evil thing here.
Where are you?
Or it
What
it
evil
said it
thing?
before.
What evil thing?
It said that there was like an enemy here. There was one of those red triangles. And I
Ah,
couldn't see anything.
well they're gone.
Yeah. Well, now.
I'm leaving you to take the data mass. See
I
you
don't
soon,
know.
honey buns.
Oh my gosh. Have a safe trip, Miss Frankenstein. I'm so happy that you're going with her to the hospital.
It's not really the hospital though, but yeah.
To the doctor's appointment.
She's
Stay
going
focused.
to get an
There's a heavy unit
MRI.
approaching.
One of the private clinics
Oh,
are
okay.
available nowadays. So we're going
Terminal
to
spotted.
Entrée.
Upload
Oh
me
my
and
gosh.
prepare to defend.
Yeah.
I'm in, Tenno.
Defended
This
the
will take
system. I will do it. sir.
Oh my gosh, yes. So many people to kill. Sword! Sword!
Splash. So much splash.
It is beautiful melee killing people in this game.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this one of the
Still
Can you maybe
one of the
explain this
Warframes
game to
you
me,
bought,
Orly
or
Alby,
you
so that I
unlocked
see
it?
if I want to invest time into this game or not?
Because
Nice.
As I
I fell
kind of
in
have a
love
lot
with
of
her
games
when
I'm
I
currently
saw
playing
her.
already.
Totally fucking understand that.
And then I've gotten a lot of Warframes from Danish one, or
Oh really?
yeah. He has given me so much stuff.
Jesus.
I am in awe of all the stuff he has given me. It's
It wasn't
too
like
much.
extra stuff he had, or
terminal hacked.
Probably because he's had the game for 10 years.
oh
so
okay.
He has
That's
a lot of
that's
stuff.
so fucking nice of him though.
Right?
Such a nice
Almost-
person.
Almost too nice, in my opinion, but that's because I can't receive gifts
Yeah,
as
no.
a normal person.
I feel that. Can you maybe explain this game to me, or Elvis, so that wait. It's a David Attenborough TTS, but it hasn't gone yet. At least I haven't heard it.
Because I kind of have a lot of games I am currently playing
I'm
already.
detecting a large security force heading your way.
I mean,
It's the
I don't entirely understand the game yet, but basically you're this immortal thing that can change bodies called frames, and you fight the Greniers that are the evil ones, and you go around slashing in the universe. It's a grindy
And
game.
you do quests. You do quests. A lot of quests.
Quests.
Yeah, I can't say that much more without giving away some lore that Doc hasn't come to yet. So
Yeah, I've
That's
barely
good.
seen any lore. Like, for now, all I know is that the Greniers want me dead. Because I'm cooler than they are? I don't know.
Ooh, we have a
They jelly.
scanning thingy here. Nice.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Wow. Body shame much? There's a heavy unit approaching.
This will take a moment.
It did go through. I still can't hear the fucking TTS, but the...
I didn't hear it either.
Ah.
Slash, 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 slash.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
Frontier Bailiff.
Oh yeah, that's all my stuff.
I keep forgetting that I have other abilities than just the slishy slashy one. Cephalon Fragment? What can I do with that? It's just that thing there.
Against us, Tenno.
Do you have a scanner?
Yeah, I have like 20 of them.
Yeah. Then take out your scanner.
We're mid-fight though.
Yeah, but take out your scanner and scan the cephalon fragment. You want to do that.
Plus 10 scan. Earth found. Cool. Found Earth. They requested you to progress any kind of crafting system in place, like you need to collect X amount. Yeah. There's crafting system in place to make weapons and to like upgrade stuff. I'm right about that, right, Dusty?
Yep.
Yep. I think you're also there's also like a system where you can mine for stuff, and is there some hunting and shit as well?
Yes, there is.
There's a lot of stuff in this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You don't have issues with like you have to hunt to be able to get food, but you get perks from hunting and fishing and stuff.
There it is.
I found neurodes over here.
Oh shit! I scanned an enemy, and I got 22 scan from it, and then it exploded on me.
Cool.
Wait. Oh. I haven't scanned that before. Cool. Wait. I gotta run around and scan shit now. That's...
There's a lot of different things to do in this game that sometimes it overwhelms me because it's like, oh, I can do this and I can do this and I can do this. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But no, I've stopped doing that because it's like, no, I'll do one thing at a time. It's fine.
Gotcha.
Did you pick up the new roads I tagged for you?
I did not. Thank you so much for reminding me.
Of course.
I appreciate you and everything you do.
I appreciate you and everything you do, friend.
Oh my gosh, we appreciate each other.
Yeah.
Yes, appreciate.
Ooh, it's this site. Let's see. Let's not go into the middle in the beginning. So this extraction site has a lot of stuff on the sides.
Oh, interesting.
So you start there. I always start where we were, and then I go over to this one over here. As long as you don't go into the green center, you won't extract.
Cool.
You can like pick up.
What a weird setup though, to have like loot around the extraction.
Yeah, I know.
But I guess like if you don't take your time to actually loot, you're not gonna be able to loot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Panda, you always auto pick up. You don't pick up stuff you're maxed out on. So I can't pick up. I don't auto pick up stuff like ammo if I'm already full on ammo or health or energy and stuff. So that's why. Otherwise, it auto picks up everything.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking... How did you get over there? I keep dying.
Take it easy.
How do we dash in this game? I keep forgetting.
Shift.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, control while in the air. I'm sorry.
Oh, cool.
Shift is going faster. Woo! And then we have another, the last one over here. Ooh, oopsie. I fell to my death. Massarin, come and open. Massarin, come öppna. Kom till
Massarin!
Open.
So the pet can open up storage things.
Yeah.
Wait, does this one always open them?
No, it has a 90% chance to open them because of a mod I put on it.
Jesus, 90% chance is pretty fucking good though.
I think so. I have it on all my pets.
Cool. You auto-collect all resources that you can use for crafting. There are some resources you have to press X to pick up, and there are some things you have to scan to really get the use of as well. But it tells you if you need to do that.
Exactly.
My god. The good guy invited you to a game?
I'm actually gonna leave because dear Frankenstein is gonna be here in like 15 minutes now, and I still am wearing my pajamas.
Pajamas!
Yes, I am a pajama lady. So have a nice day.
Thank you.
Have a great game.
Thank
you. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Oh my gosh. All right. If I can do this. Oh.
So now you need to invite me.
No, you invited me, and we're in the same team now.
Oh.
See, I built a new weapon. I got the burst on. And I don't have any new items I can build, but I have it. So you pick a mission that you need to do or want to do, and then I'll just accept it. Locate the foundry. I think I did this one with X-Gamer as well.
I mean, this is the third mission, so might have been.
Yeah, like the good old relaxing days. I mean, I really enjoy this game. The fact that it's free makes it very good. And then there are microtransactions, which I understand that they have because that's how you make money, and why not? But it's not like entirely pay to win or anything. Oh, you got the... Which one is that?
That is the one that shoots lightning.
Oh, cool.
You still have a job to do. Find the foundry segment.
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow you. Need to kill like blueprints to get new guns. I don't know if it's like blueprints. I think like you get blueprints. Well, yeah, it should be blueprints then. I don't. I think you get blueprints from missions. And you can buy some. I'm pretty sure.
This was once a prosperous, independent colony.
Oh wait, shit.
Until the Grenadier.
Oh. I was just running around looting stuff, and you're actually doing the mission.
Yeah, I'm just running around to the mission.
Will return when I deliver you to them.
Tenno, are you there? The signal cannot be boosted any further. Hurry.
I don't even know if I'm going the right way, but I'm going a way.
You're going anywhere. Yeah, just follow the yellow thingy. The mission. It's up here, I think. And turn off the alarms. If you wanna, but it's fun killing people. Haha. Yeah! Flash! Have feelings to you now.
Wait, how do I switch my guns?
F.
Or my F. Okay.
Yeah, that's really weird. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can always rebind stuff as well.
True.
Everyone's dead now.
Good. Your ship is one step closer to
Now to
completion.
eliminate all targets.
Now,
Got it.
there is one more thing you need to do. Eliminate all Grenier and provide justice for the colonists.
Soon the worm will be in your spine, and I will control this warframe of yours.
Sneak attack.
I will purge your
Sneaky bastard.
doting mother and bring you home.
I will purge your doting mother and bring you home. Oh, that's the voice in our head is what he's referring to as our doting mother.
Yeah, now you just need to kill. Like always.
Oh, there's one left up here. Not anymore.
There's one over here as well.
Pew pew.
Fucking love the boat.
I love the sound and voice acting in this game as well. It's good shit. No witnesses. Oh my gosh, I'm almost level 30 with the Exalted Blade, and that's max level.
Huh.
It'll be the first weapon I max out. Cool.
Nice.
I just hit level 29 with it, so...
That was fast.
I mean, I have played this game a little bit, like with Vemsday.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, just a little bit. I played with Vemsday a bit, played it a very small bit myself, then with X-Gamer once, and now with y'all on the stream here. Ooh.
This is gonna be a game I'm probably gonna stream as well.
I mean, it's very streamable, honestly, and there's like a lot of players as well. Oh,
it's
no.
also very PC friendly as well.
Yeah.
Even if you have a not too good PC, it still works.
Yeah. You can also hook a controller up to it. I've actually been thinking about doing that. Like using a controller instead of a mouse and keyboard.
Might actually be easier.
I think so too. Woo. You know what? I'm gonna
Mission complete.
grab one of my
done with my
controllers
bow
and we're gonna
already.
see. There's a Bidoof in chat. Ooh, alright, nice. Progression, stats. 25 minutes until I need to get the laundry again.
This is...
Alright, so A is jump with the controller. L is like... Left trigger is that I can just focus a cursor? That's weird. Oh yeah, you don't need that on computer because you always have a cursor with the computer. How long am I still gonna stream for? Probably like 2, maybe 3 more hours. I don't know. Somewhere around there. Fusion! Ha! No? Okay. I barely know anything of what to do here as well. Ayat and Cyberstar. Wait, did you say that we were gonna do a mission? Oh, you haven't voted on the mission yet?
No, I'm doing some upgrades.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm modifying, yes.
Shit, maybe I should do that too.
Even though I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just throwing shit in and it
I
works.
think it's Arsenal. Upgrade. Auto install. There we go.
I've done some upgrades now too, so I'm gonna start a mission.
Nice. But yeah, so there's like there's an option in the Foundry where you upgrade weapons to just auto install all the mods you have. that are best. Bestie told me about that, and I was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna use now.
I'm gonna have to do that too.
Right. Whee! I don't know how many you can be in a team, but I think you can be like 4 people in a team or something.
I think so too. I haven't seen anything else about it. But
Great.
4 is
Darvo's
normally
intel
what it
suggests
is.
that this outpost is host to several rich supply caches. Raid the caches and take what you need.
Oh shit, that's my ult.
This outpost belongs to the Corpus, a secretive but extremely powerful merchant cult known to be working with the Grenier. Darvo will
Alright, so
fill you in.
B is my melee attack on the...
Legions of robots, mindless
Jesus.
automatons, freaking lasers. These guys are bad news, but they're also loaded, which is why you're...
Did you run away? Where are you?
I'm going to one of the points.
Which one?
Which one I don't know, but a point.
Oh no, I'm gonna find you!
Keep moving. There is more here.
Unidentified item?
Technically this is stealing, but don't let that bother you. The Corvus aren't exactly beacons of moral fortitude either. They sell anything to
I
anyone.
don't fucking know where to go.
Don't
Oh, there
get
you
me
are.
wrong, I like
Hello.
profits.
This way
a
now.
lot, but I don't sell my wares to the damned Grenier. That's unforgivable.
Cool.
It's running straight through the cameras.
Yeah, fuck cameras, man. Smack. But yeah, this game is definitely made for a controller. It's way smoother. Don't know how to use the different abilities though.
Just scroll and then press like the normal keyboard you have for it. On PC, it's 1 for the abilities.
Yeah, but
Good work.
on controller I
But you're
don't
not
have a
done
1.
yet. Find the next cache. You
And I
almost
don't know.
have what you need.
Right?
I can look it up.
No, I can look it up myself as well. Let's see. Options. Controller. Customize controller. Fire weapon. Ability menu. Aim weapon. Move sprint. Cycle power. Place marker. Capture camera. Sprint move. Switch weapon. Melee
I have
attack.
no clue what I'm looking for. Looking at in there. That is way too complicated.
Focus and transference. Ability A, B, C, D. Alright, so it's like interesting. I think I got it now.
Nice.
Oh, fuck's sake. Alright, there. Jesus. I gotta learn how to use these controls as well.
Time for extraction. You got all you came for.
There you go.
The Ascaris has reached your mind and rendered your lotus mute. You will return to me, over your own free will.
I keep on pressing F for melee for some reason.
Yeah, I rebound that on my keyboard and mouse.
Now I did it again. Like what? Who has weapon swap on F and then melee on E?
Yeah. There's some weird controls for sure.
Yep.
At least the default controls, but I mean it's all totally customizable as well.
Yeah, true.
Get to extraction point.
This is actually fun. More fun than I actually thought.
Right?
Getting it
Like it really gets you. Wow, you dealt 74% of the damage.
Wow.
Or you just suck at mouse and keyboard, maybe? Fuck you, Panda. It's so
I mean,
mean.
he ain't wrong.
So
You gotta
mean.
use this, if you gotta use something else instead of a keyboard and mouse, doesn't that mean suck at keyboard and mouse?
So mean. Y'all are so fucking mean. I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. I'm gonna leave this this team.
Okay.
No,
Have
I'm
fun.
not gonna. We're gonna upgrade this. Gonna auto install the lateral. Auto install the Paris. We're gonna auto install. Excalibur. So the Excalibur is my Warframe, and that's level 20 right now. And wants me to switch my weapon from the Paris to the Burst On.
It said it for me too, but I'm gonna keep on using my Paris.
Yeah, I want to use my Paris until, like, I really need to change it. Like, it's level 30 or something.
Yeah.
Just say when you want to do the next mission. Segment.
Yeah, I'm trying to continue on, but it does not let me.
You in the beginning you have like main missions you gotta do one after the other.
Yeah, I'm trying to do him. Either it's just a really long time with waiting in here, or it's just me not understanding.
I mean, you gotta install fragments in your things and stuff.
I think I think something is happening.
Okay. Shades on. Oh my gosh. Alright. Ah, yes. Alright, let's check the market.
There you go.
Gunblade battle kits.
The systems on this Grenier Galleon can be made compatible with your ship. Find and extract a navigation segment.
You have murdered my sons and disgraced me before my
Hit me
king.
with your fat cock.
What the fuck, Panda?
Hit me with your fat cock.
Hit me with your cum shot. Fire away.
Worst thing is I really like Pat Benatar and Hit Me With Your Best Shot as well, so that rewrite is still very singable to me. You should probably try to loot stuff as well, Gigak.
I'm doing that as much as I can on the way.
Yeah. Are you streaming now, by the way?
Not now. I'm gonna do it later on today.
Okay. I was just thinking, like, if you're playing with me now anyway, we could stream together while we play.
For me, it's gonna be a short stream, and like leave at.
Oh, you get plans soon?
Yeah, it was a fast plan that came out yesterday.
Yeah.
My driving instructor contacted me. I want to have a lesson today.
Nice.
So,
hope it goes well.
I hope so too. Hope I don't need too many lessons.
Right.
That's gonna be drive up to you afterwards when I get my license.
Oh my gosh.
That's gonna be my plan as soon as I get my license.
Love that Gandalf sax. Man, I need to make that a thing redeemable with just points instead. 'Cause I fucking love the Gandalf sax.
This Paris gun is really good. Bow.
The bow, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. But I really like I'm enjoying the friggin' sword too much. Oh, okay, there we go. That is how you do it then.
I love how I'm just running around doing mission and you're still looting.
Yeah. I mean, if you're doing the mission, I can loot. Just tell me if I need to hurry up or anything.
So far, it's no worries. It's not too hard right now. This is only like a start mission.
Yeah. Listen to the champion.
Good work. We have what we... Wait. Tenno, coordinates in this nav segment put the galleon on a direct course to a convoy of colonists. You have a choice. You can extract now, or you can disable this galleon and save the colonists.
What do you think we should do?
Saving the colonists.
It's up to you, dude. This is your playthrough.
I recommend you head straight to extraction, but the choice is yours.
Either saving or leaving.
I think I chose to save the colonists and then leave. Just because, like, why not? I don't know if it makes any difference.
You're wasting precious time, Tenno. You've reached the ship's power systems. Destroy the reactor. Destroy the fuel injectors.
I'm not finding any energy. So weird.
She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes.
Oh my gosh.
She'll be driving
this version is so good though. She'll be driving 6 white horses, she'll be driving 6 white horses, she'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. That's from a show called, oh fuck, I don't remember the name of it, but Daniel Radcliffe, the dude who played Harry Potter, plays a priest in like the Wild Wild West. And that specific episode, they basically, like he accidentally gets drugs in his systems, and he all of a sudden does drag and does a very burlesque show for his whole parish. It's very, very beautiful. I mean, if you want to extract, we can extract.
I mean, I think I've done saving.
But are we done murdering?
Are you done murdering?
Am
'Cause
I?
I can do this all day.
I can do this all day. Alright,
Especially
Captain
stopping around.
America. Let's go!
Ship has escaped. I admire your noble intentions, Tenno, but you must survive.
8 minutes and
I'm
then I gotta
already
get
lost
the
work.
laundry.
Okay. We're at level 14 with my bow.
Wait, I just gotta check to see, because the wife is apparently awaiting a shipment of some sort, and I have to see if she has received it. It should be outside our door. Nothing yet, so either it hasn't arrived or someone done stole it.
As long as it's doesn't say it's delivered.
True.
You should not be worrying.
True. Equipment. More than meets the eye. Right trigger for abilities. Ooh. Wait. Still lose jumps and increase when wielding swords.
Are you ready to start a new mission?
Oh yeah, for sure.
As soon as I install this fragment. There you go.
Let's go!
Go, go, go!
Dang, I honestly, I don't know if I will stream more than like an hour or 40 minutes more. I might just like stream and then take a nap.
For revenge.
Pretty tired.
Well, that sounds good.
Naps are the dopest.
Could have been free.
You could have been free.
Tenno, be careful. Even with the Ascaris bolt's interference disabled, Captain Vor is a dangerous threat.
Nah, I don't believe that. You little bitch,
I started running a different direction, I noticed, but here is a lot of loot.
Nice.
I don't even know where I'm at. Oh, that's just loot.
Yeah, this map specifically has like a fuck ton of loot everywhere. I'm gonna have so much early level stuff now. So, good guy, where art thou?
I could have saved.
I'm right in front of you.
Hello.
They cast me out.
Said it.
Maybe it's
Doink.
not too late to draw your divine blood.
To draw your divine blood.
How dare you shoot at me, you bastard.
I've reset the alarms.
Good work, soldier.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let's go.
Oh, come on. How do I miss him?
I sliced him into two.
Yeah. Yeah, like the melee kills in this game are very satisfying, I think.
Zap.
Zap.
I love a zap.
I mean, a good sap is very nice. Very
Can
satisfying.
I climb here? Thank you. Oh, I can. Thank you. It took me 5 years to just climb a wall.
The aiming with controller is shit. But that's how it usually is with aiming and controllers. So.
Yep.
Poor Grenier, he was just trying to do his job, and here we are, slicing him.
Put you down like a rabbit coop.
Oh, sorry. Some guy was trying to fight me.
Who doesn't want to fight you?
Right. Oh shit, raids. Yeah, I have a meeting with an enemy in 30 minutes. The thing is, like, I have it on my calendar and stuff, so I technically haven't forgotten about it. I just didn't think about it right now. But that's great. So I'll end the stream in about 30 minutes.
That's perfect. Then I'll leave too.
Oh my god.
That's perfect timing.
Actually, I probably gotta end before then because laundry hours stop in 30 minutes. And if I go away in 20, maybe? Yeah, 15, 20 minutes, somewhere around there. I'll have some time.
Foolish Tenno, do you realize your notice?
Enemy also completely
so ugly.
forgot. Yeah, he's super fucking ugly.
He's gonna get destroyed.
Yeah, we're gonna murder him.
Bad boy.
Murderizing.
Grenier! Attack!
Oh. I'm just stabbing everyone at the same time.
Your corpse will be my glory! Asleep for so long, you will be no match for my defenses.
Of course he's running away. Coward.
Me or him? Either way, yes.
Come here, boy.
I like this as well, that like... there's like platforming stuff as well. Oh, you gotta dodge these energy crystals or energy beams. Ooh, watch out.
I see you. Okay.
In a system of Grenier slaves, you wake to Grenier warriors.
Wait, so they used to be slaves? Are we
There's
the bad
something about it,
guys?
I mean, are we really the bad guys if we're stopping people from being slaves by killing them?
Wait, no, that's not... That's... that is some fucked up logic right there, bro.
I mean, I died, so I got karma from that.
Yeah.
Come here, bastard.
Bastardo!
It's already dead?
Yeah, I did a lot of damage on him.
I will have your corpse for my...
Wait, is that phase 3? No.
Get to extraction.
Tenno, the Ascaris bolt. It
Where's the
seems to have gone
extraction?
inert the moment Vor vanished.
Oh.
You have
It's
defended
telling-
Earth
yeah,
from
it's
a
just-
dangerous threat. Well done. Head to extraction.
Shut up, timer. Ooh. Nice.
That was satisfying.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So many people, all getting sliced.
Yeah, that's a lot of dead people. Oh, come on.
There you go.
Oh, come on. Who can kill them the fastest?
I can. Let's see who did the most damage.
Stats. I mean, One killed boss? Come on.
Damage dealt 75%.
Yeah, I mean, I
also
barely
took
killed
the
any of the
most.
small guys.
I also took the most damage.
Yup. Get damaged, dude.
Let's do one more mission, I guess.
Build new gear from blueprints. I don't have any blueprints. I'm game for another mission.
If I don't need to listen to the robot talking all the time.
Might also be that, like, you might get a mission that you gotta do solo.
Then I'll do it.
Yeah, you will do it solo. And I'll do another solo mission by myself. Citrine Aphrodita collection. What the fuck is all this? Archiplasma skin.
What mission will you do next? Okay, let me see the missions.
You can
Come
just
on.
go through the navigation, and in navigation, you can select like you can see which planets you can go to.
Oh,
like,
I can choose anything right now, kinda.
Yeah, kinda. And like you can see what's a mission and what's just like you can go here to fuck shit up if you wanna.
Let's just do this one, I guess.
Let's go. Oh my god, I'm getting hungry as well. Good thing I have some chili nuts right here.
You like nuts in your mouth?
Mm-hmm. I love having nuts in my mouth. Hey, White Snake, welcome to the chat.
Welcome in to see Doc having nuts in his mouth.
Yep, right. Nom nom nom.
This is a rescue mission. We need
I'm
to
DrVem.
find and liberate the hostage
I am
before
a
any harm
variety
comes
streamer.
to them.
And right now, we're doing some Warframe. Feel free to lock around the chat, mess about with whatever you want. We have some wonderful redeems in chat, and we also have some wonderful people in chat.
Is this not the correct way? Okay.
I don't know. How are you enjoying Warframe? I mean, it's fine. I'm enjoying it a lot,
We
actually.
can't leave without rescuing the prisoner.
So far,
Keep
so good.
searching.
So far, so good. I can enjoy it with my controller as well. I'm enjoying that. It's just getting so... I need to get used to it because I played with the... What's it called? Keyboard and mouse before. And with me here is Good Guy.
Hello.
Also part of the DrVem team. Also a streamer himself. And he's a real baby Tenno. I'm playing since 2016. Could not recommend enough. See, that's the thing. Like every player I've met or talked to that have played this for a while, or like no, honestly, like anyone who has played this game, always recommend it. Like, oh yeah, it's such a good game. It's so much fun. And I need a new obsession. So Warframe might be
Stay
it.
focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Oh my gosh, I can feel the obsession building in me. Huh?
I have a heavy unit approaching, apparently.
They talking about my dick? No, sorry. Oh no. You've been playing for 9 years then, dude. How has the game changed over those 9 years, Whitesnake? Because like I just got into it now in 2025.
Same.
Yeah, but it's like
And,
a different experience for us. Smack, smack, smack. Feel free to ask anything, gonna explain the best I can while avoiding spoilers. Whitesnake, you are a wonderful person. I love you already. You can stay here forever and ever and ever. Alright, top 3 things you would recommend a newbie that you learned from playing the game. Like, oh shit, I wish I knew this sooner. Whoa, shit! Let's murder! Lingering torments.
I so long forgot about that you're still in.
You forgot that I'm still here?
Yeah.
Sick,
I've been
bro.
running like hell right now.
Oh yeah, I can notice.
You know.
Alright, I can notice, but I haven't noticed. No, I did notice.
You notice now.
I love that, like, my dude doesn't, like, he doesn't fly by on the zip lines, he runs on them. Like, jumps up on a zip line.
Okay, so here's the heavy unit over here.
Oh my gosh, I can see a dude I want to murder.
He is
Never
dead.
mind.
One-shotted.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That bow is OP.
A lot has changed. 2016 was when they made the first cinematic quest, which started a massive storyline and finished up only a few years ago. Cool? Wait, so before 2016 they didn't have, like, actual storylines? It was just like, eh, you go in, you grind for frames. Was that it? Like, I've had friends who played this since forever as well. And I've had so many people trying to get me into the game, and I've just been like, no, probably not for me. They had quests like you were doing right now. Gotcha. Which is, so they still keep the old quests for the beginners. That's kind of nice, though. That they're not, like, getting rid of the old stuff. Whoa! 2016, there was the big cinematic one. Dope. So, but that's something that we'll get to sooner or later. Then that big first cinematic one. Ouchies. More sooner. Oh, I gotcha.
Like I say, this is gonna be a game I'm gonna continue playing.
Right?
I'm really enjoying it right now.
Because, like, Good Guy is really, really new, but I've played through this mission
Stay focused.
before.
There's a heavy unit approaching.
I think I just unlocked wait. Yeah, I just unlocked the codec scanners.
Well, I downloaded this game like an hour ago.
You are approaching the holding area. Careful.
You need to
They
come here.
improved the progression a lot.
They will
Nice.
surely initiate the execution sequence.
So, like, improvements have mostly been positive. Like quality of life improvements and such. No witnesses. Murder. Entirely positive. Fuck yeah, man. That is rare for a game as well. Just that all of their improvements are positive. Good guy. Good guy. Where are you?
Underneath you. Just opening
Where
this
you
door.
belong, maggot.
We've reached the
No,
prison.
sorry.
Find our prisoner in one of these cells.
There we go.
I will not forget this.
Ouchies.
You've located the
Oh my
hostage.
gosh, my exalted blade is level 30 now.
Extraction point, and I'll
Nice.
take care of the rest.
Holy shit.
Now let's run. I'm gonna run in front to see if I can kill off people.
Digital Extremes devs of Warframe are pretty much exclusively focused on making the game as fun as possible. Nice. Because, like, I've known for a while that there are microtransactions in this game and that it's free, but like, at first I was like, how the fuck can this game be free? It's too good. Like, the graphics are too good, the gameplay is too good. Just the core basics of this game are way too good for the game to be free. Like, you gotta pay a subscription for World of Warcraft, and that shit is not the best in the world, arguably. And this is just like, yeah, you can pay if you want to.
In my defense, this is one of the best free games already.
There's a heavy unit
Yeah,
approaching.
right?
And that's coming from a dude only playing like an hour in.
But that's the thing as well, like, it catches you real quick, it's clearly fun, it's got some story at least that you can either ignore or follow. I usually ignore stories, at least in games like this. Like in Assassin's Creed games, I'll follow the story because that's kind of why I play the game. But when it comes to just like hack and slash games, I'm like, yeah, whatever the story is.
Hostage is safe.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like an example, as an example, early in the game's existence, players figured out they can use melee mid-air to extend their jumps and created a tech called coptering to move around the map super fast. The devs reworked the entire movement system to be more fluid and faster in base without a weapon required. Nice! So instead of like removing it, they were like, no, this is obviously something you want to be able to do, so we'll implement it, just make it smoother and prettier. That's fucking awesome. Oh my gosh. Alright, I gotta leave, sadly, because I got some laundry to take care of and a meeting to get to. But, I really enjoyed having y'all here. Oh, thanks for the follow, West Snake. I appreciate it. Appreciate it a whole lot. Nice. I'm probably gonna watch that. I will. By the way, one more insane thing. What's the other insane thing, Mr. White Snake? Imagine wait. About the microtransactions. Oh, okay. Yeah. Did the community ask for them, or because that would be so fucking cool if the community were the ones who wanted them. Oh my gosh. What is this? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play more later tonight. For sure, for sure. Alright, thanks for playing with me, good guy. Appreciate you. Yeah, bye-bye. Oh, my lord. I need to know what the insane thing about the microtransactions is, or could be. I only got 12 minutes, man. You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. Oh, come, fuck off! Early in the game, people could get pets, and as a microtransaction, people could randomize their appearance. Well, DE knows some people spend too much money on it, and within a day, they removed the money requirement, added pets come and refund the money. Dude! They refunded the money? Because they saw the player base was spending too much money? Alright. Warframe is gonna be my new favorite game. Digital Extreme's best developers. Up there with Larian now. Alright. Fuck, I gotta do push-ups as well. God damn it. Currently you can farm everything. That is amazing. That is amazing. Because I know you can farm frames and shit. Like, I've heard about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is what you get right now. The push-ups are punishment. Whenever I fail challenges or stuff, or I get a follow, or I get a subscription, basically most things that happen in the stream means I get push-ups. And as you can see, the push-up debt is fucked. Can you retrieve my pack shit? Yes, I will, baby.